No owner in private practice that I meet or work with is trying to get you to do anything illegal for their own selfish gains. Like, I don't often see that. I'm sure somebody out there exists. Hey everybody, welcome back to another one of Mag Academy's 5-part series. This series is going to be on becoming a PT student. Why become a PT student? What should we be looking for when we go into physical therapy school? What are we expecting during physical therapy school? And what should we expect out of physical therapy school? That is exactly what I want to talk about this week in part 1 of this 5-part series. First of all, I want to step back and just thank you so much for watching our videos and watching our series and supporting our channel. Whether you be a student right now, someone looking to go into physical therapy school, or you're a seasoned physical therapist looking to build the best private practice you can. Our purpose is to help you succeed in living the life that you've always envisioned for yourself as a physical therapist, whether that be ownership, management, entrepreneurship, or entrepreneur, as well as helping to advance the profession of physical therapy. I think it's the absolute best profession in the world, and I really want to do all that I can in my career to help all of you succeed within it. So if you haven't done so far, please do click the like buttons if you like our videos, and subscribe. That does help our algorithm and helps me to help more people actually succeed in physical therapy private practice, both personally and professionally, because that's our philosophy here at Meg. If you haven't checked out our website, please go do that. We have free resource tab there, tons of free resources there for you, our library of podcasts, our YouTube channels, and now please check us out on TikTok and Instagram as well. We also have practice assessment quizzes. So I don't want this to be an infomercial, but there's a lot of great resources, and that is kind of how we exist and why we exist, is to help you succeed. So check those things out. Let's get started on this part 1, why go to PT school? I can think back to my own journey, becoming a physical therapy practice owner now, and 30 years after graduation. What was I thinking when I was in high school? What was motivating me to want to lean more in that direction? I think I remember sitting in a guidance counselor's office, going through like a 200-question questionnaire and getting a list of professions that the computer seemed to line up well with me. And in there was like coach and psychologist and doctor and pediatrician and physical therapist and all these kind of healthcare kind of professions. And I wanted to go into a profession that I felt I could build relationships with people. I felt that because of my efforts, I was really helping people, not just performing a service, and I guess that was just my basic rudimentary thinking on it. I felt like, wow, if I become a physician, I'm going to end up just doing one of 3 things, right? I'm going to give drugs, cut somebody open, or send them for a test. And I felt like, man, I don't want to spend my life doing that, right? And I kind of thought I wanted to do that in the beginning. I kind of, started in that path, and then I quickly realized that's what was going to happen. So once I landed on physical therapy, it was the absolute best ever. And working with patients and dealing with health and fitness and wellness and just everything from healing to strengthening, it was just so exciting for me. But I don't think that my journey into physical therapy is typical. I think a lot of people today will, based on the students I talk to and the travels I've had, I think I hear a lot more about their parental influence. What are schools telling them? What is society pressures telling them? And I think a lot of people kind of might look at it like, hey, I know I'm that kind of person that gets great reward and joy and pleasure out of helping others. I mean, I know that was it for me. That's still my button today. How can I help people? It makes me live a good day. But I think there's financial pressures too. And people look at the shortage of physical therapists and say, hey, I'm going to have job stability no matter where I am in the country, and I'm going to have a decent living. And that's true. That is true. You could have both of those things. But I don't think that's the reason why you should go into physical therapy. I don't think that's the reason why you should pick any profession. I think that's a benefit for sure for the decisions you make. But I think once you realize that you're making a decision for the long haul, for the long journey of your life, you need to find something that's extremely rewarding from the doingness of the profession, extremely rewarding on the daily basis, not on the extenuating ramifications of the position regarding pay and benefits and stuff like that. If you absolutely hate what you're doing and you're getting paid well doing it, you're going to still hate what you're doing. You're not going to actually have the happy life, because it's 1/3 of your life. 1/3 of your life sleeping, 1/3 of your life at work, 1/3 of your life social, family dynamics, friends, happiness, recreation, right? If you're sleeping should be a happy part of your 1/3 of your life. Your family, friends, and stuff are influenced based on the third of your life at work. So being happy at work, being happy with yourself, being happy with who you're helping and how you're participating in that help will lead to a happier life socially. So that's just my feelings. That's my thoughts in working with thousands and thousands of people within this profession. I just think that is more of a core decision, because when you get into physical therapy school, it's a journey, right? It's a 5 to 6 year journey. So you're going to be going for 5 to 6 years, and your experiences are going to include heavy costs, number one, time commitment, number two. So heavy costs, time commitment, travel. You're going to have affiliations. You're going to have different kinds of travel that's going to come up while you're going through school. You're going to go through soul searching. You're definitely going to be soul searching, because you're going to develop as a person into the professional that you need to be when you graduate PT school. You can't just be working with people, working with patients like you are when you're with your friends, right? Your social demeanor, your dynamics, the way you conduct yourself, the verbiage you select has to be more conducive of your elevated healthcare professional position. And so you have to soul search on developing yourself into that character and becoming that professional, I meant to say. So soul searching. And along with this, I don't think a lot of people will tell you and be honest with you about it, but I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of doubt, because there's a lot of decisions to be made. When you're confronting a bunch of decisions, you'll confront more doubt. It's your strength and your confidence in who you are and what you want that leads you through minimizing your doubt and maximizing your commitment and decisions. So be prepared for that. There's a lot to be decided upon as you go through your physical therapy training, what you believe in, what you don't believe in. Physical therapy could be with pediatrics and geriatrics, orthopedics, sports med, work hardening. There's just a plethora of different channels you can go into in physical therapy. So as a student, be prepared for that and be open-minded. This is my next little tip of advice here. When you go through school, don't be so willing to write things off. Don't be so willing to unexperience, so I don't want to experience that. I want that, because you have these preconceived ideas. I think a lot of times I see new grads and they come out and they're thinking one thing, and then I run into them 4 or 5 years later and they're doing something entirely different. And they're like, yeah, my world opened up when I was willing to look at this, or willing to experience that, or change this. Don't be afraid of change. In physical therapy, everything changes on a regular basis. You have to be flexible with that. I think a lot of people will be somewhat closed-minded, and they get these fixed ideas while going through school from their professors. Sometimes your professors are great educators in the practice of physical therapy, but they're very bad advisors in the profession of physical therapy. And that's my best way to say it. Take it with a grain of salt. They're in academia for a reason. And then when you get into private practice, for instance, a lot of these new grads or students will say, well, my professor said I shouldn't do this, or I shouldn't do that, or this is unethical, or that is unethical. And you're like scratching your head like, what? Like, what are they talking about? Like, no owner in private practice that I meet or work with is trying to get you to do anything illegal for their own selfish gains. Like, I don't often see that. I'm sure somebody out there exists, but that's not what it is. And I think you'll hear that a lot more than what it really is. I think a lot of things are blown up more than what they really are. So you might have a small, less than 0.01% of somebody who's just most likely negligent, not malicious, and somebody falls into that, and all of a sudden people think everyone's out there to get you to overcharge and overcode because they're trying to buy bigger boats. That is not the experience that I have with PT private practice owners. We were all PTs at one time. We were all following the rules. We're all trying to follow the rules, and the rules and regulations, compliance, and financial pressures make it such that we have to run policies and procedures that maximize 85% efficiency clinically and maximize one's ability to deliver a quality volume of care per session. And I'm going to get into that because no physical therapist on planet Earth bills. No billing happens within a physical therapist's scope of practice. That is not what you do. And don't listen to anyone who tells you everyone's trying to get you to bill more. I don't even know what they're talking about. You don't do billing. You didn't go to billing school. You don't have a billing certificate. You're not sitting at a computer billing out codes and billing out modifiers and things like that. You're not doing that. You're not dealing with the clearinghouse. You're not handling EOBs. That's not your job. That's not what you do. So that's a lot of false data. So we'll clear that up a little bit. As your reality becomes more in line and more in focus, you're going to feel better about who you are and where you are, and you're going to get more rock solid on actually why you went to PT school. I think it'll become evident to you that really there's only two reasons why anyone became a PT in my book that actually holds any water. I mean, many people say, oh, I went into physical therapy school because I wanted to help someone. And I'll say, no, that's like being human. Like humans should want to help other humans, right? That's a quality of walking on planet Earth as a human being. You should always have some attention on wanting to help somebody else, not do them in or have any destruction or demise to them, right? We're all here sharing all the resources, and we should all win together. So that really doesn't hold water in from our philosophy on how we help people succeed in business and in practice and in life. We're like, no, that's kind of like part of being you. Two great reasons that I feel really hold water on why you became a physical therapist, when you really think about it, is number one, I wanted to get into a profession of high clinical expertise that would afford me the opportunity to help as many people in my community as possible live their life in optimum health. Like, that's a great one answer. Like, that's a great answer for why I became a physical therapist. Sorry about that. I wanted to get the clinical knowledge and skills and training, clinical knowledge, skills, and training, so that I could help as many people around me in my community live their life in optimum health. And that doesn't matter if I'm in a nursing home working in geriatrics or home health or mobile PT or pediatrics. Like, that's what pops me out of bed every morning, is I want to do that. Number two reason for wanting to become a physical therapist is I want to arrange my abilities, my thought processes, my planning, my strategies, my skill sets with my hands and my delivery of such in such a manner that I can give an overwhelming abundance of care with each and every session. Like, to be a physical therapist and want to just give the minimum and run, yeah, there's a lot of other professions that do that. I want to get paid a lot of money for doing a little bit of work. Not in physical therapy. That is not at all what we're about. Shake and bake PT, does it happen? Sure, it happens. I've seen those clinics, 3-4 patients an hour, running them in, running them out, sports medicine. That's all we're doing is put people on equipment, sending them home. I have seen that. That's a misguided philosophy. And it can just come from societal pressures of so many patients and so few time, not enough therapists, and people break down on their integrity and they go in agreement with that. That's not okay. And that's up to you to hold your integrity on that. And if you're a practice owner, you need to get your ducks in a row and not have that kind of work environment. And I know it's not malicious. I know you're not trying to cheat the system and be criminal. Nobody is. That's not what I experience. I don't see that. But you kind of fall into it because you tumble down in agreement with the societal pressures that are not okay. So get yourself straight. Get coached up, get trained up, learn how to create better structure, 5-division structure, learn better systems of operation, what's the ideal schedule, and that kind of stuff. And obviously training those around you so you can delegate more roles and responsibilities. That will clean all that up. That would be just fine. You're not going to fall into those pressures, and you will be viable and you will succeed. So for those of you who are in practice watching, a little bit of coaching advice for you there. For those of you who are students, once again, my second reason for being a physical therapist is because I want to give a volume of care with each and every engagement. I want to leave it all on the field. I want to throw everything in the kitchen sink at my patient each and every time I treat them. You want to give the abundance of care. You want to exchange in abundance with each and every engagement you have with a patient. You should feel very fortunate and very blessed by the fact that people have chosen you to be their therapist. They've chosen that practice or that institution, or they're seeing you because they could go other places. They could see other people. They could see other people with different initials after their name, but they're there seeing you. Think about it. You've invested most likely $150,000, 5 to 6 years of your life, to come out of school with a stable $70,000 to $80,000 a year job with benefits, and you're an entry-level person. You're an entry-level person within the profession that you've selected. You've spent all that time, all that money for that amount of income and stability for an entry-level position. Hey, that's fine. I'm just giving you a reality check. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying, boom, there you go. That's what it is. If, in fact, you want to elevate yourself within the profession of physical therapy and move into higher jobs, higher positions, I should say, of greater responsibility and accountability, thus comes greater exchange of an abundance with you, whether it be with time flexibility or whether it be through higher compensation as you move up. Well, guess what? PT school didn't equip you for any of that. You didn't get trained on any of that. You've been given no skills for that. So hence, that is where we come from Meg Academy. Where we come from is we want to pick you up when you're a couple of years out of school, fresh out of school, 5 years out of school. I just spoke to somebody yesterday who's 5 years out of school, working at a physician's office, saying he's had enough. I'm ready to make a change. I want to have my own practice, and then I want to have a satellite office. I want to monopolize these 2 towns with high quality physical therapy care. And he's like, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to incorporate it. I don't know how to get my SBA loan. I don't know who do I hire in what order. I don't even know how to properly put together a personnel chart, let alone all the Medicare compliance rules, regulations. I don't even know the recruiting side of it or the marketing and branding. I'm like, I know. You didn't get any of that in PT school, but yet you have aspirations. You're just boiling inside with this entrepreneurial spirit because you can do more. You can leave this physician-owned physical therapy practice and do it the right way. Do it a better way. Do it a way that's heartfelt, and you connect and communicate with those within those 2 small towns within your community. And you want to, have a local business and contribute back through charities and events and things like that. That's how I feel. That's how this person felt. I'm like, good, we're perfectly aligned. Great that you've contacted us. You went through our website, and let me do a practice assessment call. Let me guide you to which package you can purchase and what comes with it, and how we can actually coach you through each step of that way so you hire the right person at the right time. You always stay net positive. You don't go upside down in your revenue, and you can flourish and prosper based on your reputation as a genuinely caring professional who built an organization of other genuinely caring professionals, because that's what we need, and that's what will make you successful. You don't have to sell people. There's no sales in physical therapy. There's education and delivery of high quality care. People will tell other people they are your greatest marketing resource ever. It's your patients. It's not your billboard. It's not your ad. It's your patients. 60 to 65% of all your new patients should be coming in from your patients, communicating what great work you do and what great services they've received from you and what a great person you are. So that's what I'm after. How do we actually get you to advance within your profession? Please, if you haven't done so, check out www.megbusiness.com. Schedule yourself with a practice assessment with me. We'll talk through where you are, where you want to go, how you want to get there. Do not believe your professors in terms of their advising you in the profession of physical therapy. Just take their educational knowledge, apply it, become well educated, and get your degree and get out of school, and then start formulating what you want to do with your professional degree, what you want to do with your time, your effort. It's 1/3 of your life. It's very important for you to make that decision and for you to get those skills and training. And my final message here is, if you're listening to what I've said so far on this clip, it doesn't end when you graduate from PT school. You will continue to evolve, grow, and develop. Surround yourself with positive, uptone, upbeat people who want to see you do well, want to lift you up. They don't want to take something from you. They don't want to get something from you. They want to contribute to your success. And then surround yourself with people you can do that with too. If you do that, you're in a great practice with great people, doing great things. You're feeling great. And that 1/3 of your life is going to bring you great joy and pleasure. So that's my advice. Physical therapy is a great profession. Enjoy every minute in school and do it for the right reasons. Practice for the right reasons. And you're going to absolutely love your next 30 years out of school. Take care, everybody. Check us out. I hope to help you someday soon.